press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello my dear students, we have been discussing about the chapter the living organisms and their surroundings. So in the previous class we will learn about the different types of animals which are adapted to such a climatic condition and such a features. Like that animals will adapt to live in the desert region, some animals will adapt to live in the mountain region, and some of the animals which are adapt to live in the grassland, where lion as well as the deer we learnt in the previous class. See, animals like lion as well as the deer, we shows the special features which is adapted to in such living in such a region or the area. See, the animals which are living in the grassland shows the light brown in color, and special modification feature in their body will be present. And this is all about the previous knowledge. In today's class we will learn about some aquatic habitat. The habitat, the organisms which are living in the water are called as aquatic habitat, in which plants as well as the animals found in aquatic region. And here for example, usually fishes we have seen in the aquatic region. Fishes, octopus, different types of animals are found in the aquatic water. See, fishes having, we all learnt about the body structure of the fishes. Fishes having the streamlined body so that it will move from one place to another place by using the streamlined body, and there are special modification structure which is adopted by the fishes, like fins will be present and tail will be present, and thereby to balance the in a body balance they will maintain the tail, and fins will be and scales will be present which helps the animal to protect their body. Like that there are different types of special modification features which is adapted by the fishes, and usually the fishes having the streamlined body we call it as a streamlined body. And one of the special important feature which is found in the octopus having the 8 arms. See, octopus having the 8 arms, if one of the special feature are present in the octopus is the if any of the arm is cut down or cut down from any body parts of the octopus or arm will be cut down, then after 2 to 3 days or after few days the regeneration of the arm will be takes place. A regrowth or the regeneration of the arm will be takes place, and this is one of the important special feature which is present in the octopus. So this is how the aquatic habitat will be adopted to live in a aquatic region, like fishes and the octopus usually found in the water. And beside this there are many living creatures which are found in the water, and fishes is having the streamlined body, and octopus having the 8 arms. There is a special characteristic feature present in the octopus is the regrowth or regeneration of the, if any of the arm will cut down, then after few days the arm will be regrowth or the regeneration will be takes place. And this is all about the animals which are living in the aquatic region. And beside this, plants also live in those regions, and there also special adaptive feature will be present. And the plants which are found in the water or the aquatic region having the roots are very small, and leaves of those plants are ribbon like structure. A ribbon like structure, And also the stem is a soft and hollow light. Stem is a hollow means nothing but the lightweight. As this word is comes under the bird structure, where the pneumatic bone or the hollow bone will be present, so that they will fly in the air. Like that in plants which are living in the aquatic habitat, having the hollow stem will be present. Stem will be hollow, and which helps to keep on floating in the water. Floating in the water. And hollow stem. This is all about the aquatic habitat, that is the plants. As I told you, the plants as well as the animals which are found in the water is called as aquatic habitat or the aquatic organisms. And here the plants will be also found in the aquatic region, where the special modification structure will be there, and thereby roots are very small and leaves are looks like a ribbon like structure, and thereby hollow stem will be present. Hollow is nothing but the lightweight, and so that the stem will be hollow, it will always floating in the water. On the surface of the water, these plants will be present, and this is all about the aquatic habitat. Next we shall move on to the oceans. See, those animals which are found in the ocean having the marine water will be present. Marine is nothing but the salty water, and animals also show the variety of the structure and the shape. Those animals which are found in the ocean region having the special structure and special functions of those body parts will be there. And sea animals like fishes are found in the water, and which is having the streamlined body structure. Streamlined body structure, and also as I told you, the octopus which is having the 8 arms, and usually this octopus float in the water, and these octopus will be found in the deep water, and it will respire through the gills, and the dissolved oxygen which is present in the water, thereby they will, by using the gills, they will respire. Oxygen get dissolved in the water, so that the octopus will use those dissolved oxygen by using the gills. Gills is a respiratory organ of the octopus, and different types of fishes having the gills, it is one of the respiratory organ. Like that in human beings also, lung is the respiratory organ. Like that in fishes is also having the respiratory organ, that is the gill, and here octopus is having the gills, so that by using the gills they will respire, and it will respire the dissolved oxygen present in the water. And next one is the whales and the dolphins. See, apart from this, whale and the dolphins are also found in the water. Whale and, even though these animals are found in the water, there is a different respiratory organs will be present. Either they will respire through the blowhole or by the nostril. See, blowhole and the nostrils are the respiratory organs of the whale and the dolphin. So usually these animals will found in the deep sea, and they will stay for a long time in the water by holding the breath, and for this For the long time without breathing, they will hold the breath. Long time without breathing. These animals which stay for a long time without breathing for a long time, and here the whale and the dolphin, the blowholes or the nostrils will be present, and thereby it is one of the respiratory organ of those fishes, those organisms like whale and the dolphin. And like fishes and the octopus having the gills is the respiratory organ which respire the oxygen, means breathing purpose the organ system will be used, and this one is nothing but the gills. And whereas the whale and the dolphin having the blowholes or the nostrils instead of the gills, these organs will be present. And this whale as well as the dolphins stay in the water for a long time by holding the breath. And this is all about the ocean animal. Ocean is nothing but the marine, that is the salt. Salty water are present in those regions. And next one is the pond and lakes. See, ponds and lakes having the fresh water. Fresh water is nothing but the sweet water, and which is suitable for the drinking purpose, so that we call it as a fresh water. Suitable for drinking purpose, and it is fit for the the fresh water is fit for drinking purpose. And this is the ponds and the lakes. And here the plants grown in those region, like the different types of varieties of plants which are grow in those regions having the special modification structure, and in which there are three types of plants will be grown. Floating plants, free floating plants, see, first one is the free floating plants, and next one is the partially submerged plant. Partially submerged or partly submerged plant, and next one is the completely submerged plant. See, in which first one is the free floating plants. See, in the free floating plants, the whole body will be floating in a proper way, and the roots are very small here. The free floating plants having the roots and which are very small, and always it will floats on the surface of the water. And next one is the submerged or partially submerged plant, where the upper part of the plants will be float on the water, and thereby the roots will be present inside the water, and the whole parts like leaf, branches, flower will be float on the surface of the water, and thereby we call it as a submerged or partially submerged plant. And next one is the completely submerged plants. See, those plants which are completely present in the water and which floats in the water only, and thereby the whole body, like different parts of the body will present in the whole part of the water, and these are called as completely submerged plants. See, this is how we can divide the plants in the ponds as well as the lake, that is free floating plants, submerged plants, and completely submerged plant. So this is all about the aquatic habitat. Next we shall move on to the characteristic feature of the living organisms. Say in which first characteristic is the living things. Living things need food. See, characteristic features of the living things. See, by knowing the characteristic feature, we can identify the organisms or the living things can be distinguished from non-living things by looking out, by observing, and by knowing the characteristic, we can segregate the living things as well as the non-living things. See, from the characteristic of the living things, in which first characteristic is the living things can move. See, we all know that living things can move. See, for example, it is one of the characteristic feature of the living things. As I told you, the living things can move. For example, dog can move from one place to another place, and like that, birds also move one place to the another place. And we consider as a dog and bird as a living beings. See, by giving this example, the dog and bird we consider as a living beings, and even the car can move one place to the another place, and different types of vehicle move from one place to another place, and like that car and buses comes under the non-living things. Car, see, as I told you, the animals and the birds, even the human beings also move from one place to another place. And the dog, human beings and the bird, we call it as a living beings. Whereas the car can move from one place to another place, and like that bus can move from one place to another place. And this car and bus, we call it as a non-living things. And this we can't say that the car and bus is a living things. See, there are special characteristic features will be there, and thereby we can modify, thereby we can set that the living things shows these characteristics, then only we can distinguish from the living things to the non-living things. And one more example I will tell you. So this is the characteristic feature of the living things. As we all know that the living things can grow. Like the baby will be grows into an adult, and the eggs will hatches into a chicken. Like that different types of organisms will grow, and we call it as a cat, chicken, and different animals, and even the human beings, we call it as a living beings. And see, in the sky, the clouds will also grow in size, and we call it as a non-living things. From the above example, like the cat and the chicken, we call it as a living things as it grows, whereas the clouds we can't say that it is a living things, we consider it is a non-living things. Like that, we can say some of the things which are grow in nature and we consider that it is a living beings, whereas the clouds also grow and these we consider as a non-living things. By knowing the characteristic property of a living things, we can differentiate from the living things to the non-living things, in which first characteristic is the living things need food. As I told you in the chapter first and the chapter second, how the food is important for the living organism. For example, food acts as a fuel for us to carry out the different life activities like digestion, reproduction, respiration and even the excretion. These are all processes, life processes which are going to take place continuously in our body, and thereby living things need the food. Without food, living things can't be survive in the earth, and thereby living things need the food. Food acts as a fuel. See, for example, to run a vehicle, how the fuel acts, how the fuel will be utilized by the car, and like that in our body also, food acts as a fuel to give the energy to carry out the life processes. Even though if we are sleeping also, we need the energy. If we don't need the food, if we not eat the food, then the energy will not provided by the body. So that we can say that all the living things need the food, and thereby food acts as a fuel for all living organisms. And plants usually make their own food. See, plants make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. It is one of the important plants make their own food. It is not dependent on other organisms. So that plant is a autotroph, and it is usually plants make their own food by the process known as photosynthesis. By using the simple substance like water and the carbon dioxide, plants use the sunlight and the chlorophyll pigment. Plants will prepare the food and the oxygen is released, and thereby we can say that even the plants is also a living beings, since it also need the food. So this is one of the important and the first characteristic feature of the living things. Next we shall move on to the living things grow. See, as I told you, all the living things will grow. See, you have seen that the bird will construct their nest on the tree, and thereby they will lay the egg, and later it will hatches to form a young ones, and like that the living things can grow from baby to the adult. A person or will be grown, and like that a chicken will be hatches, the egg will be hatches, later by the growth will be takes place in the animals also, and even the plants also grow. If you put the seed into the soil, then by sprinkle the water, and if suitable environment will be provided for the seed, then it will regenerate and germination will be takes place, thereby the plant will be growth. And this plant, if we sprinkle the water and suitable environment, again we have to given such plant, means it will convert it into the large tree. Like that living things can grow. See, this is the important characteristic feature, and this is the second characteristic feature of the living things. So here I wind up the class. In tomorrow's class we will learn some more concept about the characteristic features of the living things. Thank you.